Hey Team Upstreet, hope you guys are having an awesome day. So our Tuesday Truth for today, I wanted to make this little video in case you couldn't make it to our all volunteer meeting this Sunday. And I just wanted to share with you guys what we talked about. So if you've been around Upstreet for a while, you know that at the beginning of every year, we try to do something that we kind of can come back to all year long because we want Upstreet to be a place that not only you pour into kids' relationships with Jesus, but a community that you can grow in your relationship with Jesus as well. And so when Julie and the Upstreet team and I were trying to figure out what do we want to talk about, honestly, we kind of selfishly were like, what are we doing this year and how can we bring that into Upstreet and how can we as a community do this together? So the new year and this time in particular is so busy. We're making New Year's resolutions. We're trying to get our year on track. And a lot of times we lose sight of what God is doing in our lives because we get so busy and then we kind of think that that's God not being present in our life because we're just not paying attention to what he's doing. So there is this book called My One Word, and the whole premise is that at the beginning of each year, this guy chooses one word that he's going to focus on for his whole year. He doesn't do resolutions. He just focuses on one word that he wants his year to revolve around to see how God is working through that word. And what he says in the book is, I'm convinced that our struggle to see God at work in our lives is not a result of his lack of work, but rather of our lack of attention to it. And as a member of Upstreet, we don't ever want us to forget how God is working and not pay attention to how he's working in our lives. And so we wanted to be able to focus in on one word for our year and just really focus on how God is working in that. So in the volunteer room, if you haven't gotten a chance to yet, there are these little cards and it says My One Word 2019. We would love for you guys to write what you want what your one word is for the year, to write it down here and then put it on this envelope, And on this envelope, we want you to write your address. Because at the end of this year, we are going to send this card back to you just to remind you to pay attention to how God has worked in this year, in 2019, through this word for you. And if you're anything like me, you know that if you're making resolutions or wanting to do anything different, I have to have it in front of my face at all times, or at least something to remind me. And so we wanted to give you guys something to remind you about how God is present and working in your life and to remind you of this one word. So there are these keychains as well. On it, it says, I don't know if you can see this, it says Philippians 2:13. And that verse, let me read it to you guys, is, for it is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill his good purpose. So we want this year for us, for you, to be a year that we get to see how God works in us and through us for his good purposes. So if you have not had a chance to, please come into the volunteer workroom, fill out your one word card, address it, and get yourself a keychain as just a reminder. And then Julie and I will keep these cards, and then periodically throughout the year, we're not going to open them, but we just like to pull them out and continue to pray for you guys for your year and your one word. So thank you guys so much for all that you do to help lead kids into a growing relationship with Jesus. And I cannot wait to see how God works through our one word this year.